Get this man some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
A Blazers podcast.
Get this man some help where I am doing my stretches, loosening up. This is going to be a big podcast. First of all, really big show.
Really big show.
Just a peek behind the curtain before we let you guys into the chat, all 12 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Sean and I were talking about Steven Adams because we have an undying love for this man.
Yeah.
And we were speculating that, well, a lot of the people in the NBA might have hired help to do the assistant work and all that stuff. Steven Adams definitely does not. He's doing everything. I don't know if you saw this, Sean. They did like a sneak peek about how he's living in Houston. And he sleeps in a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
On a camping pad on the floor.
All that
There's no furniture.
No.
And then he has one room that has a gaming device on which he uses to play games with his brother, who's back in New Zealand, managing the family farm.
Yeah. I mean, what? that completely tracks. If you see that man for more than 35 seconds, you should just assume there's a guy who's sleeping, like living rough in a luxury apartment complex, but living rough. You know what I mean? So the thing about it, and I would absolutely like the Hard Knock Life documentaries. If they just did a documentary following Steven Adams around, I would watch all 14 episodes. I mean, just back to back to back. He's one of the most fascinating people in the NBA for me. But yeah, he's from New Zealand, and he's got like 12 brothers or sisters, and they're all like incredible athletes. Like I think one of his older sisters, it's like an Olympic track and field, like javelin or discus or something or other, and they're all
some made up sport.
No, not the made up sport, but the big people track events. You know what I mean? You see the guys, but I'm on the track team. You're 350 pounds. You're throwing something heavy. Fair enough. Track is for everybody. But no, she's like and like one of the most famous athletes in New Zealand. She's like the kind of like, I don't know, Jackie Joyner Kersey of New Zealand or whatever. So yeah, like his whole family, they just sound like amazing people. They're gigantic, athletic, pretty intelligent, salt of the earth people. I mean, what
The thing I like about Steven Adams the most is that he doesn't take any shit.
No.
Like he's good to have on your team in that regard.
Yeah.
But he's also doing it with a smile on his face. He's not going to carry that. The minute he leaves the court, he's forgotten about it.
It's done.
And he's like, do you want to come have a drink? Or are we going to, what do they call it? A shout? I'll shout you a pint?
When he was in Memphis, there was a fairly famous, it's a big internet thing now, but there was some guy who went after Ja Morant, and he wouldn't stop charging Ja Morant. So Steven Adams picked this guy up, like with one arm, lifted him up, and walked him across the court. And the guy is struggling, and then at a certain point he realizes, no, Steven Adams has me like a toddler, and so he just kind of goes, oh, and Steven Adams carries him. And then after the game, you're like, well, you just carried this guy. He wouldn't leave my point guard alone, mate. That was it. That was it. No ill words. He wouldn't leave Ja alone. So I had to pick him up like a literal child and carry him away. Tremendous.
Two things. First of all, I could listen to you muddle through a New Zealand accent all day long.
Hey, you betcha.
Second thing, in his post-playing career, you could hire that out as a service. Like, I would love for a man to pick me up and just swaddle me. Shh, Timmy, you've had too much.
It's okay.
You just relax.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Let's get you a graham cracker.
Yeah. You've been a little overstimulated.
Yes.
We got to put you to bed.
It's one of those things like when all the other professional athletes are like, yeah, that guy's really strong. You know what I mean? Like, you are a freakish athlete when all the other athletes are like, God damn, that guy's awesome.
I'm also I'm not convinced that he's aged. I know his hair has grown longer, so there is proof of progress, and he's gotten more tattoos. And he's a little thicker.
He didn't have the beard the first couple years, and it's a cursed image. Beardless Steve, maybe even more so than beardless James Harden. Like beardless Steven Adams is a different cat altogether.
The nice thing about that, I don't know if you saw the Guy Fieri stuff about where he took off his beard and he put his hair, and he just looks totally different. So, later on, all Steven Adams or Steven Adams is still huge, but James Harden just shaves his beard and he's like, nobody knows who he is.
No.
And he just lives an anonymous life.
Yeah. If he ever committed a crime, All he had to do was shave that beard. He would
Yeah.
go scot-free. They'd never catch him.
This is a Blazer-focused podcast, Sean.
Is it?
It is.
Oh,
And
I see.
the Blazers made some news because they made a trade.
They did.
They sent Duop Reath, beloved Duop Reath, who is out for the season with a foot surgery, for injury, and he's getting surgery on it, and 2 second-round picks to the Atlanta Hawks for, I'm going to let you pronounce the name.
Nope. Not going to try that. Not
First name Vit. First name Vit. And this is 6'8",
6'8",
195, which means that he is 2 inches taller than me, and 3 inches taller than me, and 4 pounds lighter.
Yeah, he's not a Steven Adams. We can say that. Yeah,
we call that a tall drink of water.
His nickname is Heat Check, but check like the country, and so he is already Kevin Calabro's favorite player. And I'm just excited for the first time he hits a 3, and Kevin Calabro goes absolutely apoplectic, screaming Heat Check. Yeah. I cannot. So just that alone. I mean, everything. First of all, I'd like to say Duop Reath was a great Blazer. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. He's one of those guys that if you see him in a game for less than 4 minutes, you think, my God, why is this guy not playing all the time? And then by 4 minutes and 12 seconds, you're like, this is entirely too much Duop Reath. Like, this is too much. You know, like, But I think in a different environment, you know, I'm hoping that he sticks with Atlanta, because I think Atlanta in particular would be a good team for him to kind of, you know, showcase his skills a little bit more. But great. I mean, his teammates loved him. The fans loved him. Sad to see him go, but very interested in this young fella, Mr. Heat Check.
Mr.
Vaguely xenophobic there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
So Duop, totally agree. And, you know, I don't think people realize how sneaky international the Blazers are, because, you know, Duop Australian all the way to Mani, who's Dutch, right? So
Belgian.
You know, Belgian. Excuse me. Sorry. Apologies to the Dutch or the Belgian. I don't know who I'm apologizing to.
Yeah. Just
I'll apologize to you, Sean.
Okay.
Anyway, but we trade out an international. We get an international back. We're staying internationally active.
Sure.
You know, which is great in terms of a marketing strategy, because all of a sudden, you know, the Blazers are a very popular team in the Czech Republic now.
Yeah,
probably,
that's true.
Assuming
that's true. Yeah.
And you know, we already got the Israeli market cornered.
Yeah.
And we got China. You know, as we only have. So this is great. And Canada. You know. Shaden?
That's right. I forget that. So are we really calling Canadian players international? Of
course we are.
Really though? I mean, really?
If you look at the two trajectories of the countries, I think I think you can see a very different cultural.
Yes, well, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
I mean, Shaden did his time as a Mountie, as all young Canadians must.
That's not true. That's not that works at all. I would love it if it was. But yeah, trust me, if Shaden was ever a Mountie, that image would be plastered all over every Blazer social media post. They would show that 3 times a game if he in his little Mountie uniform.
I would love it if Robert Williams was a Mountie, because the hat alone,
they'd probably make him a custom. I would also love it if Robert Williams was a Mountie.
That's true. That's true.
He would be absolutely stoked.
You know, actually, if I was like, I want to go on a camping trip, I would go with Robert Williams and Steven Adams. Maybe. And I wouldn't have to pack anything, because Steven Adams would kill everything with his bare hands.
That's exactly right.
And Robert Williams would probably have
a log cabin. You would be there for an hour trying to pitch your tent, and he would, you know, okay, it's a 3-bedroom unit.
Yeah,
I just built it myself. You know.
Yeah. Then he'd pick you up, put you to bed.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised that Jeremy Grant has not shown up to the game dressed as a Mountie, because I feel like that's very much his aesthetic.
Yeah, except it'd be all unstructured draping. Yeah. The hat would not be able to fit through the door.
Yeah, it would be the gigantic oversized hat. You know, the
Pharrell hat,
would
but
be
like
more
times
like a
a million.
Shawl. Yeah, exactly right. Deconstructed Mountie. All right, moving on.
So Tiago Splitter said about the new acquisition, you know, we were thirsty for shooting.
Yes, okay.
So
okay. That's probably a legit Portuguese term, by the way. I mean, I'm sure Okay, but they're thirsty for shooting. All right.
Uh-huh. So so this is an example of a player coming in who I had no idea about 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm a true believer.
Well, sure.
And he is going to solve everything for us. He is a
gonna
top
fix it all.
20 shooter in the NBA on volume.
Yeah.
He can do the catch and shoot, the set, whatever. He is came into the league as a point guard, but he's probably going to scale up in terms maybe a 2 or 3. But by all accounts, he might come in and be the best shooter on the team from day one. Honestly, like,
yeah, I mean,
I understand that Damian Lillard's on the bench. He's not playing this season. Who else is going to be a better? And the Blazers manufacture open looks. And I love Toumani Camara, but I was texting with you in the last game where I was like, some of these shots that he takes, I'm happy that he has the green light, but maybe, 20% less.
Well, I think part of the
unless
problem
it's going for you, unless it's cooking.
I think the shot selection plays a part in that. Like the past couple games, they have legitimately not been able to put the ball into the basket. You know what I mean? And I think the thing is, like, they're clearly still learning their offense, because there are some stretches where the ball is just pop, 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 pop. And, in the NBA today, if you can make that fourth or fifth pass, chances are you're going to get a shot there somewhere. You know what I mean? Like if you just keep passing the ball back, like it's almost like a game of keep away. It's kind of frustrating to watch because it's not very complicated or elegant. It's literally hot potato, and then someone fires a lot of the time. And so there's that when that's going, that generates a lot of good shots. But a lot of the times they don't have that going, and they still try to take those same shots, and they're no longer good shots. And I think Toumani is almost like a kid with a new toy. You know what I mean? He's still trying to figure out exactly. And the thing is, the difference between a good shot and a bad shot is literally a fraction of a second. You know what I mean? It's not. It's a hard thing to learn. It's a skill. It's a hard skill to learn. And obviously, Caleb has gotten a lot better, but he's still not taking some. He takes some kind of stinker shots sometimes. And yeah, like Donovan Clingan, also a guy who, oh man, like there are some shots actually he should be taking that he passes off on, and other shots it's like, oh, you probably could have hit that extra touch would have probably been good on that. So yeah, I mean it's a learning process. It is a combination of bad shots and also just not being able to get that thing in the hoop.
Yeah,
and this guy seems like
he seems from my in-depth scouting reports, my proprietary look into behind the curtain, he seems like a guy who is going to be aggressive like Caleb in terms of taking shots, but with a percentage more akin to, the Jeremy Grant of the world, or a higher percentage.
He takes better shots. He's a little more patient, believe it or not.
Okay.
But also the intriguing part,
believe it or not, there's
well, the intriguing part to me is he can bring the ball up and down the court.
Yeah.
Like he is, I mean, he's not a great point guard, and they didn't really use him as a point guard in Atlanta, but if you look at some of the stuff from international play, like he can bring the ball up and down the court.
Yeah.
And it's this weird thing, like the Blazers are going to field lineups now where everyone on the court is going to be like 6'8". Like 1 through 5, they're all going to be about 6'8". And I think that's going to be very interesting to watch and see how that kind of what they're able to kind of do with that. So yeah, if you make him the point guard in an all 6'8" lineup, it's
my favorite kind of move. It's the move where you're taking an intriguing player from a bad system, and you're betting on them being able to be who they truly are because they're coming into a good system. And that's what happened with Deni. And sometimes it misses.
It's very much Deni syndrome, I think. Or can we bring another Deni, a guy who
we did it with Cam Reddish. It didn't work out the same way. But that is like it's a very low risk way of maybe getting a really high upswing guy. And if you're playing in Atlanta,
a broken Duop with a broken foot and 2 second-round draft picks that were probably never going to turn into anything anyway. And it's worth the roll.
And he's coming from a system that was 100% Trae Young focused, and Trae Young famously not the most fun player to play with. And so, I mean, despite being an absolutely transcendent passer, his teammates always seem like they're just like, and so
Yeah.
you get that guy, and he's going to come into the Blazers system, and hopefully he's going to be like, wait a second, I'm telling people to shoot more because they're like popping the ball around too much. Like it has the potential to be very interesting, and like you're right, that amount of size across the board is crazy. And like I was listening to Mike Richmond talk on the what's that, Lockdown Blazers or whatever, and he made a good point where he's like, you don't have, if you're a 6'8" person, you can kind of be a worse defender because like you can kind of cheat a little bit because you're just long. And he's long and elastic, and he can stretch like the character from Final Four, because the Fantastic Four, because he's only 195 pounds, and most of it's plastic and elasticity, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see what's going on. It is a little surprising to me, and I think it pretends that maybe there are some other moves coming. So I think last game they said that CD Sissoko has already played 45 games. So
Yeah.
for those that the Blazers have 3 2-way contract players, Javonte Cook, Caleb Love, and CD Sissoko. And 2-way players can play a maximum of 50 games in the NBA before they need to convert to a regular contract. And the Blazers already have, I think, 15 guys on the roster, plus the additional 3 2-way contracts. So they would need to free up a roster spot if CD was going to play more than 5 games for the rest of the season. And so the 1-to-1 trade was kind of like, oh, okay, that's kind of surprising, kind of weird. Because you'd figure that CD and Caleb Love are 2 guys that they would want to keep playing, especially since Dame's not going to play this season. Maybe not. And, Scoot and Blake Wesley are kind of injured for long. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It is very intriguing, very interesting. I am eagerly awaiting to see.
I think it just definitely pretends that there's more stuff going on. And speaking of that, there is like it's not like it's still like being framed as long shot stuff, but like there is like a persistent murmuring. It's like, well, don't count the Blazers out for the Giannis situation. And there's a direct line to the idea that we have a new owner. And this new owner, there's that famous thing that I think Bill Simmons made it up or whatever, new owner syndrome or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, he wants to make his mark as fast as possible. And what better way to do that than get Giannis? And I've seen both sides of the debate kind of going off in Blazerland, where on one side it's like, he's a top 5 player at worst. What are we even talking about? Get him now. And then the other side's like, we've already seen this movie. Like, what are we going to have to give up to do it? Is it going to be Milwaukee 2.0? And can't, is he going to be able to sign for all this stuff? What are where are you at with this? I mean, we control the Bucks' future with all those those picks and draft.
So that's another big. So the first sort of big picture thing is the new collective bargaining agreement and all the new like contract structures and rules is really turned the sort of NBA trade landscape into a nightmare, because especially with a player as big as Giannis, there's really no way to get the return for him that they should be getting. I mean, what should the return be for which I agree he's a top 5 player. So what should the return be? Especially if you look like, well, Desmond Bane got 3 draft picks and blah, blah, blah. But the way the league is set up now, there's like 6 teams control like 60% of the first round draft picks for like the next 10 years. So if you want to make a big blockbuster move, you have to then sort of involve some of the other teams who have the cap space to absorb other contracts and the draft capital. And it's always kind of been the case, but this year it just like the math on some of these deals, even if everyone was willing, like, okay, Golden State, for example, is willing to, bet the house, they still have to try to convince 1 or 2 other teams to like be a part of the, to either take some contract money or give up a pick. And it's very complicated. And you could see, it's weird, but you could see a situation where a sort of second tier player ends up getting more draft capital than a guy like Giannis, just because the teams who want Giannis and the teams that Giannis want to play for just aren't going to be able to, load up on the picks and stuff.
Right.
So that part is frustrating. It's a little crazy. As far as Giannis actually coming to Portland is in a place because they have so much money that they can absorb. If they get rid of Holiday and Robert Williams and Jeremy Grant, they have a ton of money that they can bring back. So Portland is going to be a part of, if there's a blockbuster deal, chances are Portland's going to have at least some small part. Like they kind of have to, just mathematically speaking, Portland is a team that kind of has to get involved. Does it bring Giannis here? I think I texted you, I hate it. I hate the entire discussion unless it happens. In which case, I will become just completely insufferable if Giannis ends up wearing a Trailblazers uniform. So I hate the whole notion that we would give up any part of this wonderful team, the vibes and blah blah blah, potential blah blah blah. But let me see Giannis in a Blazer jersey. I will go completely crazy.
I will probably buy that jersey immediately. Now, so in this trade, we did get Vit Krejci.
Yep.
Which is
Krejci, good job. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. He's a shooter, ball handler person, and you sort of wonder about what does this set the table for?
Yeah.
And you had texted maybe speculation that it sort of signals the end of Drew Holiday, or maybe because the backcourt suddenly becomes maybe a little bit crowded because Blake Wesley came back last night. Scoot seems, by all accounts, to be able to come back in the next week or two.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a situation where we do get Giannis, we might look back on this move as being like the precursor to that, where the book on Giannis is like surround him with shooting, surround him with drop, knock down shooters, and he's going to eat. So I don't know. It's funny because I had some real self-reflection, Sean.
Okay.
I had to examine myself because my initial reaction was like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. I like Shaden too much. I like Scoot too much. I like these guys too much. I don't. But then I was like, what are you talking about? Like Shaden and Scoot haven't done jack shit. They haven't done a single thing. And Giannis single-handedly destroys us every single time we play him. He is one of those players where you look at the schedule and you're like, like when we play the Clippers and Kawhi's healthy, I'm like, well, Kawhi just doesn't want to lose tonight, so we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
And like Giannis is of that caliber where it's like if Giannis doesn't want to lose one night, there's a very good chance he's not gonna lose. And that'd be great to have him on our team.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's kind of like I say, he's a top 5 offensive player, he's a top 5 defensive player. It does. I was thinking a lot about this actually, because the Dame Giannis experiment did not work out well. And I think if I'm Milwaukee, speaking of self-reflection, I think you got to take what's the autopsy here? Why didn't this work? And it is kind of amazing to me that obviously the front office investigating themselves, they're going to find out that they did nothing wrong. But they gave up a lot to get Dame. And that turned out to be a mistake. But also, at a certain point, you got to look at Doc Rivers and be like, what, and remember that whole weird coaching thing where they had Darvin Ham, and then it was like this weird thing, and then
they had Adrian Griffin, right?
Or Adrian Griffin, beg your pardon, and then the Terry Stotts was there, and then Terry Stotts and Adrian Griffin got into a fight, and Terry Stotts was like, "Yeah, fuck this, I'm out of here," like, bye, And then Doc Rivers comes. It's this whole weird thing, and so I do kind of wonder, would Giannis and Dame 2.0 be different in Portland? Just as a thought experiment. Like I said, I doubt it's going to happen. But if it did happen, would that how would it be different in Portland than it was in Milwaukee?
I'm going to tell you how it'd be different.
Would probably have to get rid of, for Giannis, the Blazers would have to get rid of at least Deni and or Shaden, probably Scoot, and Jeremy Grant. I think, just to make the math work.
I have no idea how they would do it, but I know Milwaukee's not going to just be happy with filler.
No, and they shouldn't. I mean, he's a top 5 player. They should try to get everything they could. So, if it ended up that the team looked like Giannis and Klingon and maybe Tumani and Dame and Drew Holiday, is that a contending team?
I mean, I think with Giannis, you can always say it's a playoff team. I don't know if you're going to say it's a contending team.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on where you want your ceiling to be. My thing is that the real kind of wild card in that Giannis sort of thing about why it didn't work with Dame, etc. It's like, what is Dame going to be when he comes back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's an older gentleman in terms of league age. and coming back from a really serious injury. And is he? So I guess if he's coming back and he's like, it's the Dame show again, like welcome back for the sequel,
Mm-hmm.
then you got to wonder, would it work? Because it didn't work. But if he comes back and he's more realistic and he's like, listen, I'm going to be I'm going to start the game, but it'll be 20 minutes a game or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to. Then you start to kind of have a little bit of excitement around it. I just don't know, because I mean I think like people around Dame are always saying like, don't count him out. He's the hardest worker ever. And but I don't think you can like hard work out an injury. Like I think sometimes that just needs, like, Father Time's undefeated or whatever. Like, so I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think like to get Giannis or to get these big name deals, like you have to, unless you're the Lakers and you get Doncic for a broken down Anthony Davis, like you have to give up something that's important to you to get something of value back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that always makes me nervous, just in terms of the Jermaine O'Neal of it all, where it's like, what are we giving up for this? Because, Giannis could come and then 2 years later be like, it's not working out here either. And all of a sudden he's on a James Harden roller coaster where he's in 5 different, or a Russell Westbrook, God forbid, where he's going to different places and then you're kind of stuck holding the bag.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I think that the difference between Giannis and Russell Westbrook is about 8 inches. Like when you're a 6'2" point guard, there's going to be less demand, especially as you get older. With Giannis can play like Giannis. It's like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could have played until he was 50 if he really wanted to. I think Giannis can be dominant as long as he wants to be. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that out of all the like superstar trades, Giannis makes me. I'm the least anxious about Giannis because I think the guy is just so dominant, and barring some catastrophic injury, like breaks his neck, I think that he will be a double wrecking ball as long as he wants to be. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is all a thought exercise. We've done this many times, but it is interesting because we were just talking about what would you realistically want to give up for John Morant? Like, would you bring in John Morant if it meant losing Scoot? And it's kind of like, I don't know, but yeah, what would you be willing to give up to get Giannis? Okay, like you tell me.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Okay, well, we'll see. It's going to be an exciting couple of days. I keep checking, the other tabs to see if there's any trades
constantly.
Yeah,
my family's ready to throw me out of the house.
Yeah. What do you think about Donovan Clingan leading the league in offensive rebounds? He's a second year in the league. He's leading the league.
So yeah, I mean, because he's a big old dude and he knows kind of where to put his body. Though I will say, you. Thankfully, blessedly for you, did not see the game last night where Jared Allen absolutely took it to Donovan Clingan. Donovan Clingan looked as bad as he has looked since maybe his first couple games. And I mean, he was just, it was one of those things where I think Jared Allen had like maybe like 28, 29 in the first half. It was just killing him. And it got to the point where it was almost sad to watch because Donovan Clingan he knew he was getting torched and he was so frustrated. He just started like compounding the problems and the mistakes and it was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing night for Donovan Clingan. And it's one of those things that like, he's a second year player and you're allowed to have those bad games. And Jared Allen is a vet, former All-Star. He's not, and plus like, I think that trade, because Cleveland traded DeAndre Hunter. And I think Jared Allen is realizing that he might be next. So he's kind of like got a little something to play for. But yeah, it was brutal. Just a brutal display to watch. Jared Allen was beating him left, right, up, down, backwards, forwards, just killing him. And so yeah, I mean, Donovan Clingan is a great rebounder. He is already one of the best rebounders in the league. I think he's a great sort of interior presence defensively. But it just goes to show you that learning to be an NBA player is there's a long arc, and that we got to give our guys room to be sort of good and improving, and also they're going to have some nightmare days. And I'll be interested to see how, because for the past month and a half, maybe Donovan Clingan has been like, each game has been a little bit better than the last. You know what I mean? Like his rebounding's good, but he's starting to score more. He's feeling more comfortable, blah, 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 blah. And then he hits this wall. And I'm very interested to see how he's going to like bounce back from that because it was bad. It was real bad.
Well, he has the rare distinction of averaging exactly 11.1 points per game and 11.1 rebounds per game, which I don't think has ever happened before in the
It should
history of
never
the league.
happen
I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I'm just going to go ahead and say that's a fact. But
Interesting.
I think what you said is right. It takes a long time, and it's a long, bumpy road to learn how to be an NBA player, unless your name's LeBron James.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like life. It takes a long time to be a good person.
Yeah. Well,
so go easy on yourself. I'm talking to myself. I can see myself.
Okay. Yeah. No. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm already.
No, that's good. Okay, Scoot's coming back.
Oh, I'm excited.
Are you excited?
I'm not as excited as he is.
Can I play the Scoot music just a second?
Please go for it.
You think Scoot would like this?
Yeah, I think so. I think Scoot likes everything.
You think Scoot would be into it? Yeah, Scoot does like everything. Scoot is your best friend who's like, do I look good in this? And he's like, you kill in that.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
go out.
Yeah. I think he's just such a positive guy that, I think he digs everything. If you like it, I love it.
Yeah. Does it make you feel good? That's the first question I got to ask.
Yeah. No, I'm.
That's what he's asking. I'm saying I'm role playing Scoot.
Oh, sure. I beg your pardon. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sterling, I apologize.
He's like Ted Lasso in a point guard's body.
That's exactly right. Big Ted Lasso vibes from him.
But like a it's all turned up like to 11.
Yes. Better fashion sense.
Because he's over there like slapping towels. He's going crazy.
Oh, he's going crazy. Yeah, I would love. I might even try to see if I can get a ticket to whatever the first game is when he's back.
Yeah,
because it's going to blow the roof off the Rose Garden.
So I wanted to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to games again? Because for many years you were not going to game. I would invite you to a game and you would not go. So now are you back in?
It was.
So can I invite you to games again?
It was good for the kiddo. It was a good sort of experience because he had never been, and I felt like it was kind of derelict in my duties as a dad. And the kids should go to the game. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I from one side I miss the sort of energy, the atmosphere. From the other side, best seat in the house is my couch.
Okay, I'm gonna invite you to a game.
Got this
I'm gonna
start
sending I'm gonna send the text again.
For
many years, there's always a no.
You get no collabro in the stadium.
Well, you could bring in some radio and get like the old school guys. Listen to the radio while you're watching the game.
Sure.
All right, I think we got it all. I think this was perfect.
The thing is, I know for a fact as soon as we log off, this is going to be a flood of trade news. It's going to be Giannis. Yeah. It's going to be Cat. Yeah. It's going to be
okay.
John Morant.
Speaking of Cat, we played the Blazers, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we played the Knicks.
Yeah,
and the Knicks won.
Mm-hmm.
Good for the Knicks. Cat's body language in that game. They'd be coming down the floor, and he would be running out in the break, and they'd pass ahead to somebody else.
Yeah.
And Cat's arms, which are 4 million feet long, would just flail up in the air like, why did you miss me?
Like one of those balloon guys outside the car dealership.
Yeah. And this happened. It wasn't like it was one time. And okay, no, I get it, big fella. Like, sorry, man. He kept doing it. Like, just these huge reactions. And I'm just thinking, as a teammate, as a coach, as a fan, you're just thinking to yourself, what is going on with this guy?
Yeah.
Like, I understand that you're not being utilized probably properly.
Listen,
but like, is that the way to get there?
There's a reason that Jimmy
You
Butler
have Jalen Brunson, who is literally...
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Brunson's literally the beating heart of New York City. Like I think when when he leaves town for a road trip, I think New York slows down a beat. Like everything's a little sad.
Yeah, 100%.
And then he comes back and they're like, oh, and then of course it's going to go through him.
Yeah, and it should, because they win when it does. They win. The thing about it is, Cat is back in the old neighborhood. We'd call him a sad sack, because it just like the very picture of hustling backwards. He's got the tools and the talent. And I actually do agree that he's maybe the best shooting big man. I mean, it's hard to say with Dirk, but okay. one of the best shooting big man in NBA history, but he's just constantly such a stick in the mud that he sort of damages his own legacy. Because the thing is, he was the man in Minnesota for a long time, and they didn't win anything. And I think that when you, at a certain point, you kind of have to realize, okay, I'm not that guy. I'm a guy. I'm an A guy. I'm just not that guy. And that's okay. Not everyone can be, Kobe Bryant. Sometimes it's good. Just I'm a 25 and 10 a night guy. That's good. You should celebrate that. But I think what's happening is he wants to be the guy in New York, and Jalen Brunson is clearly the guy. I can't think of any more sort of like ensemble casts in the league where it's clear that one guy is the guy, and one guy's Gladys Knight and the rest of you are Pips. It's okay. It's okay to be a Pip. You're not Gladys Knight, you're a Pip. It's okay. It's okay. And I just think Cat has a hard time accepting that, and that's why.
Are Pips the seeds in an orange?
Probably.
Or what is it? A Pip? You're not the guy. You're a guy.
Yeah, and it's okay to be a guy. It's really all right to be a guy.
Why do I keep taking everything you say as a life lesson?
Well, because it is. Because sports are an allegory, right? Like, it's okay.
That's why we love sports. It's a metaphor for how to live our life.
Right. Well, I just think about this. One of the most miserable human beings in sports is Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
He is just a miserable. Every time you talk to him, he's hey, Michael Jordan, LeBron, baby. He's always playing devil's advocate. He's miserable because he never accepted the fact that he could just be a guy. He always wanted to be the guy. He had his couple years being the guy. And okay, for a couple years he was the guy. But when you're with Michael Jordan, you're a guy. You're a guy next to Michael Jordan. He's the guy. And I think Scottie Pippen has never been able to sort of rationalize it. And Cat has very similar energy, except Cat was not as good as Scottie Pippen.
I think the ranking of all-time best shooting big man goes Dirk.
Yeah.
Duop.
Well. Yeah.
Nas, Reed. And then Cat.
Listen, I mean, if we really want to get into it, and I know this is a Blazers podcast, but I think that Nas Reed kind of ended Cat in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Because Nas Reed, again, plays like, I'm not saying Nas is as good as Karl Anthony Towns, but I think he plays the way that Karl Anthony Towns really wishes he could play.
Or should play, probably.
Or should play, and he's got Nas Reed is a guy who's got it. Like, Nas Reed is one of those guys that maybe could be the guy. But Cat is just not the guy, and that's what Jimmy Butler saw the minute he walked into that locker room. Is Cat's not the guy? He's a guy, but he's not the guy.
He went up to him.
If he was the guy, he wouldn't be shoved in this locker, would he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he kissed him on the forehead and said, "You're a guy.
You're a guy, and it's okay to be a guy, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay to be a guy."
Well, this has been a great podcast from two guys who know they're just guys. And we want to thank Puma Distortion as always.
Two guys looking for other guys to help the guy.
By the way, Puma Distortion, I wouldn't say no to a Deni Avdija song.
We've gone this whole time without saying Deni Avdija, NBA All-Star. NBA All-Star.
I had to vacate the room. NBA All-Star.
NBA All-Star. Official.
Let's go.
NBA All-Star. Man needs some theme music.
Come on.
Man needs some theme music.
I love it.
How about that? Deni Avdija.
We did it, guys.
Yay.
Get this man some help.
There should be
Stop it.
effects, like
Get some help.
A Blazers podcast.
You get the happy birthday message. Like the balloons. Yeah, something. Jesus.
Okay.
It's about YouTube money start coming in.
Yeah. Sponsor us.
You know what'd be funny? Just, there's an